Hello everyone, Tina here. Welcome to PhotoPlay's YouTube channel and welcome to Tuesdays with Tina. My name is Tina Smith and today we are going to create a thank you card. We're going to be using a few items from the Say It With Stamps collection. We're going to mix and match today. This is the thank you etched metal die set. I love this die set because there's a shadow die that accompanies the thank you, so you can layer it together. And I like layered sentiments because you can stack them and add dimension. We'll be using this for our sentiment today. Now we're going to be using a Mother's Day stamp set. In fact, that's the name of the stamp set and the coordinating die set. Even though this is called Mother's Day, I think it's versatile because of all the floral arrangements in here. I think it works perfect with a thank you card. But there's also some thank you sentiments in here as well. Lots of floral leaves and flourishes that you could, even an empty vase that you could fill. And I'm partial to this bouquet here. I think we're going to be using that for our thank you card. So with that being said, we are going to set this aside and start off by doing a little bit of stamping using our Mother's Day stamp set. Let's go ahead and open this up and we will take some cardstock, and I'm going to take that large, it's a very large bouquet. I'm going to place this on some alcohol marker friendly cardstock, and then there's some leaf flourishes that I want to stamp also. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in my stamping positioner. But we're going to use some ink that we can use with alcohol markers. And we will start off by inking up our image and stamping it on some white cardstock here. The cardstock that I'm using is the Color Me Premium cardstock. I like it because it's super smooth and it makes for great ink blending. I went ahead and stamped that smaller leaf one more time. So we have two of the same and then the longer one. Okay, these are the colors that I'll be using to color in my images today. Now I'm going to set these down and I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. We are going to play a little bit of music while I color, and then when I'm done coloring, I will get you back. Okay, coloring is all done. Next, we're going to go ahead and take our coordinating dies. And we'll line these up and we're going to die cut out each one of our elements. And then we're going to do a little bit of stamping when we're done. Now that we have our florals die cut, we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to bring back my stamping positioner, and we are going to be using, for a little bit of texture in our background, the Ditsy Grid clear stamp set. I went ahead and adhered my Ditsy Grid to my stamping positioner, and then we're going to be using a piece of white cardstock. This measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. I already put some adhesive behind it. I like to add it directly to my panel. This way I know it's straight and fully covered, and then I'll bring the reverse side of my stamping positioner over, press down, and then I can pick up that paper and I know it's perfectly aligned. I'm going to go over my cardstock with my anti-static powder, and then we're going to ink up the Ditsy Grid with a watermark ink pad. I thought we would do a little bit of embossing with white embossing powder. I'll go ahead and stamp my image. Once I stamp with my watermark, we're going to go over our panel with white embossing powder. Okay, I went ahead and melted that embossing powder, and I did miss a spot right here. I'm not really concerned about it because my floral is pretty large and I'm pretty sure it will cover that up. Okay, let's do a little bit of ink blending in our background. I want to bring in a little bit of neutral tones. So we have some brown ink, and I might throw in a little bit of pink ink too. But I'm going to use my light brown ink and just do a little bit of blending in the middle, kind of fading out. And then I think I want to add a little bit of pink down here in the bottom. I'm going to add a little bit up on top too. Okay, after we have our ink applied, I'm going to take a towel and we're going to go ahead and buff away the ink off of our Say It With Stamps Ditsy Grid background. It's going to really brighten up and make that print a little vivid. And even though it's kind of hard to see on camera, but I love the texture that that gives in the background. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of die cutting. I have a piece of white cardstock and then a piece of teal cardstock. I went with colors that kind of coordinated with my teal alcohol markers. We're going to go ahead and take our thank you dies and die cut out the outline with white cardstock, and I'll die cut at the thank you with that teal cardstock. I'm going to run these through the die cut machine. After I have my thank you die cut out, we're going to flip them around and go ahead and layer these on the shadow or the outline. And I'm just going to use a little bit of glue here. If you wanted to add some dimension to your sentiment, you would just maybe put some die cut out your thank you with foam, and you can add it that way, or you could stack 3 of these together. I've did that before and I love the outcome. And I love that the thank you is just 2 pieces. You don't have to fuss with the single Y or the single O or the U. Everything is one piece, which makes it really nice. So we have our thank you adhered, and now we're going to go ahead and work on our background. I'm going to take my card base. This is a A2 side folding card base, and then I have a piece of craft cardstock that is a card front size. This is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. We're going to go ahead and take this and adhere our craft cardstock to our card base. After we have our craft cardstock adhered, I'm going to go ahead and flip over my panel, and I'm going to use my tape runner, and I'm going to adhere a piece of fun foam behind it for a little bit of dimension. It also helps with the warping. And then I'm going to add some adhesive directly to my card base. And we can go ahead and adhere our background to the center. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add my florals. Let's put some foam adhesive behind here as well. I think that looks really pretty. And then we're going to flip over our thank you. I'm going to go ahead and add my extra leaves. Last but not least, I need to add a little bit of sparkle, so I'm going to go over the flower centers with a few gems. And then that finishes off my project today. I think it makes a really pretty thank you card, and that's using the PhotoPlay Say It With Stamps thank you etched metal die set. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.